Mr. Andrew here, and we're talking about domain. And domain is basically all the inputs I can enter into a function. So here, f of x is the most common notation, so it's all the set of x's I can input into this function. Now here, we want to find the domain. So really, the hard question would be, what can I use? And that's really, sadly, what we have to answer. The funny part is it's easier to exclude. So what can we not plug in? That's a much shorter list. We can not plug in things that can be, we can't divide by 0, and we can't square root negatives, so that's what we're going to take advantage of, at least right here at this level. So here, division by 0. So I can say x minus 3, that better not be 0, and then I work it from there. X minus 3, well, I can add 3 to both sides. I get x cannot be 3. Okay, so x cannot be 3. So what that means is if I have to write this in interval notation, I think about it as I'm scanning a number line. I can go all the way to the left to negative infinity, if only my number line ever went that far. And then I go comma. I can go all the way up as I scan up my number line. I can go all the way up to 3, and I can't touch it, so I put a parenthesis. If I could include 3, that's when I place a bracket, but I can't because that caused division by 0. So I pick up on the other side of 3, or I put the symbol called a union 3, and that can go outright on my number line to infinity. Now, with infinities, you always place parentheses, so that's why the parentheses are there. The parentheses are on the 3 because I cannot include the 3. Now here for the next one, if we keep moving along, f of x equals x plus 5, and that's square rooted. And what we'd say is x plus 5, like I said earlier, we can't have that be negative. So we have x plus 5 greater than or equal to 0. I subtract 5 on both sides, so I solve for x. I get x is greater than or equal to negative 5. So what does this one look like? Well, it looks like I can start at negative 5 on the left of my number line, and then I can go to the right as far as I want. It can get bigger than that, so I'm going to say that goes off to infinity. Okay, now here I used a bracket on negative 5 because negative 5 is fine. Negative 5 plus 5, 0 squared root 0, 0. No big deal. So we can square, that's fine. So we have a bracket there. Now here, if I bring in the last problem, surprise, surprise, I actually combine the both ideas. So x plus 3, not only is that under a square root, but it's also under a division bar. So x plus 3, the way to write this one, can be greater than 0, but it cannot be equal to 0. Okay, and let's think about it. If it was equal to 0, that'd be division by 0. So I want to write minus 3 right here, minus 3 right here. X is greater than negative 3. Okay, so this would just be a case of where I'd have a parenthesis, negative 3, and it can get bigger. So it goes off to infinity. So it's just like the last one, but we can't have it equal in this case because that caused division by 0. So I place a parenthesis when I write my interval notation. If you want to see anything elaborated on more, just send me an email. Thank you.